second. I just realized that that this session wasn't being recorded. Oh boy. I just started recording. I do apologize for that. So ones who are here, you guys benefited big time. The ones who didn't, so sorry about that. I really apologize. I just realized that I just hit the recording button again. I thought I had it on before. So anyway, let me get straight to it. So so given where we are with this, these are extremely important articles which are going to affect markets. I do a lot of background work. Okay, I do extreme amount of reading and monitoring global stuff that's going on that's going to affect our markets. And from an informative basis, I put stuff out there like this. You can click it and you can basically see what those events are coming up this week. In fact, Janet Yellen is speaking around noontime on Monday. So expect some real volatility. Is it going to be the start of the bear market? No. Is it going to be volatile and then the market moves higher, in my opinion, a bit? Yes. And those tactical levels I'll be putting across. And we are going to do well and make money tomorrow. No question about it, as long as we're flexible. But this type of news that Saudi Aramco raises most Asia oil pricing, this is huge news. This is the first time they've raised prices for oil in Asia in maybe a year, 2 years, year. That's big news. I actually put it out in stock tweets, started getting all these hits, likes, Surprised that nobody put it out there. This, I think, is also very positive, that China promises improved law services to boost private investment. I don't care what your political bias is, okay? And I don't care what my political bias is, but this is a positive piece of economic news. Then I put across this one, for example, this is my motivational stuff. There are no perfect moments, just tactical trading. And it's true. Everybody's always waiting for perfect moments. What I was explaining before. I want to buy the stock here. Then the stock hits the lows, technical lows and stuff, and no one touches it. But they'll buy it when it's up 60% with maybe another 5% to go, and then they lose money. Has it happened to you all? Absolutely, it has happened to you all. And hopefully after you go through my service, it's going to be less that it happens to you all. Stop chasing prices all the time. Buy prices when they're tactically giving you signals to buy it. Tactical signals are very difficult to read in volatile markets, and that's what I specialize in. And you all who have followed me know exactly what I'm talking about. JB knows. He's been a member with us about a month or two. Exita knows. She's a member with us for a long time, and exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm asking people to buy things, not asking them, but suggesting my trade alerts, and then it happens within a day, if not less. But most people don't do it. Well, that's their business. Okay, so this is a great article. Stop lying to yourself about value investing. And I said, stop lying. This is my words, as in growth. Stop lying to yourself thing. So these are powerful articles which are going to give you that background information that I'm telling you, so you can mentally prepare yourself how to handle your trades on a forward basis. Then comes the charts. This is a weekly chart. This is not daily. This is not us jumping like hot monkeys on monkeys on a hot tin roof, or JB, jumping on his boat and near his Mexican villa. He was out on a vacation, burning or stepping on a red crab that bit him. That's not what we do. This is a weekly chart. Okay, this is a weekly chart which is telling you where the stock wants to go. Can it change? Sure. But if we keep on, like they say in life and trading, if you keep on moving forward, trying to look backwards, you're never going to move forward. So we can't always think about what the downside can be. We always sometimes have to think what the upside can be, with knowing what the possible downside risk is. There's an old saying in the business and in life, right? You can't drive forward in life in your car by looking at the rear view mirror. Try doing that. You'll be wrapped around your neighbor's tree. Okay, so that's the same thing in trading. So this one, at least from a tactical standpoint, tells me it wants to engage right here, and that engagement right there is around 1340. And I've showed that in different time frames. This is a weekly time frame. To me, this is a damn good looking chart. I'm a pro trader. I look at charts all the time, and it looks like this is what's going to happen. And in my opinion, if things really go, we're going to hit 1400 on this baby because gap fills happen 90% of the time. Okay? Just the way it goes. Gap fills. This is a gap. Don't know what a gap fill is? Google it. Go to Investopedia, which is an excellent, excellent site for anything to do with investing financial terms. Investopedia, make it your friend. Okay? Here is the site, investopedia.com. Anything you want to know, type it in, search, and it's a fantastic site that I've seen evolve over the last couple of years. In fact, I should use it more because it's become a real information site too, instead of just a site for a dictionary of financial terms. So again, investopedia.com. So you want to understand the dynamics or the meaning of what a gap fills are. It's very simple. There's a gap, and I want to get into it right now. And then, now why do gap fills happen? That's a long-winded story, which I'll explain in further coaching sessions. It's a technical reason why gap fills happen, both on the downside and the upside, just so you know. So this is a weekly chart, swing chart. This is looking fantastic. It's telling me that it wants to get overbought. By the time it goes over 100, the stock, mind you, will be in the mid 1300s. If not testing the bottom end of the gap, that's around 1370. I've been right on Priceline way too often to do that. Okay, then you have the trade alerts, all right? So the trade alerts are direct. It tells you by June 10, you have to know how to read options tables, all right? And that's something that you'll have to do on your own. Remember, I'm not going to teach you how to, it's like this service is not there to teach you the alphabets, what's A, B, C, D. You have to know the alphabets. What I'm going to teach you are the meaning of words, right? So it's not kindergarten to the point where the teacher's teaching you the alphabet. Try to be as helpful as possible, but you have to have your own knowledge of what it's doing. It's really my service was designed, to be honest with you, still designed for medium, I say from a trading knowledge standpoint, people, let's say, from 1 being completely new, a newbie, to 5 being, been trading for a while, somewhat seasoned in the market, at least understanding the market. My service is designed for people who start off from 3. But what has happened, because of the coaching sessions and all that stuff, I've worked with people who have actually no idea even how to read a chart, and they have become quite good at it. And they're still here. Okay? So that's the way it goes. So this is important. Lotto. I have it, when you go, I'll go through my website. There's an area in the members area. It says, like dictionary. And tells you what these are. What's a lotto? A lotto simply means things which are cheap. It's $1.70. So give you a small example. Let's say you buy one call at $170, right? One call is, just to know the basics, right? One call is 100. It's basically, dollar at one call at $1.70, $1.70. Could have sold it at $6 plus. Imagine if you bought 10 at $1,700. This is risk money, mind you, because these are lottos. Lottos are always risky. Intraday. This is June 3, expiring the same Friday. One example of it. So $1,700 went to $6,000 plus. Did it happen in a straight line? Sure it didn't. But I kept on showing the chart, showing you what Priceline was going to do. But you got to hold your nose and you got to sit tight. Because Priceline dipped 2 in the negative 2 first part of the day, if you remember. So you manage your trade. I'm not going to tell you how much to buy. I'm not going to change you when you're going to change your diaper. That's a mental term for saying changing diapers means when you panic and do stupid things. Then a couple of quick things, asking members to, we do organic marketing. So go out there and tell people what we do. Behavioral stuff. Then I showed an options table showing where the most of the hits are. Let's say on Tesla, options where the most of the open interest was. Okay? Options table, open interest, volume. This is volume. This is open interest. So this was pretty big. There was only 400 contracts for next week's calls, right? at the 217.5 levels. All of a sudden, somebody was buying, I mean, not somebody, but people were buying more than 1,300 contracts. That's bullish. Large volume spikes. These charts are very precise, showing where the money's coming in. So I'm walking people through a lot of stuff intraday. Most, I would say a good 90% of my trade alerts, especially for new members who are listening here, 90% of trade alerts come with a chart. So you look at this quickly. AGN, for example, trade alerts were posted last week. You look at it and you say, okay, does your brain register what I'm trying to show? I try to put arrows and stuff just to make it simple. It's not hard to read. There's a big fat gap here. It's a gap fill zone. The stock looks like it wants to go into the gap fill zone. This was the arrows where we originally bought it. A little bit here, but a nice amount here. Stock fell, we bought, and then added more, kept on higher. Notice the 34 and the 50-day moving average is turning. When this yellow-orange line, the 34-day moving average, crosses over the 50-day moving average, ladies and gentlemen, this stock at that point will be at 270. We'll get to 270. It's going to be very fast. All right? It's going to cover this gap, but the lines have to cross. It has to continue its positive pattern. The real dynamics of what's happening in this chart, I'll explain real further how to read this whole thing to your benefit in future coaching and in forward coaching sessions. SPY, can't beat this. Can't beat this. This is a $1 million, billion-dollar chart. I identified the hammer reversal candle, the bullish continuation pattern. I even put these markers, which I use these days, so people can look at it and say, "Whoa, look at those nice little circles with one in it." Basically, these are inflection points. Okay, this is an easy chart to read. A hammer reversal candle. Go to Investopedia, you want to understand. But your visual mind tells you, wow, that's a green move up like that. That's major short covering off the bottom on Friday's job report. Major. I saw this candle. I'm like, wow, this is big. But it came off exactly of the levels that I showed before this candle occurred. It was way out of the Bollingers. I don't want to get into the technical stuff too much right now because, there's a lot happening on this chart. These charts are known as Algo HFT charts, short for Algorithmic High Frequency Trading Charts. I use a platform called Quodd, Q-U-O-D-D. Some of my members have subscribed to them. They cost about $120 a month. They are the most tactical and profitable chart platforms I've used for tactical charting on indices and individual stocks on a shorter and in sometimes swing basis. They are better and more accurate than Thinkorswim. This is not a trading platform where you can input your trades. This is primarily for codes, all that stuff, and then the charting. I have videos on my members area, which I'll show tonight, which you'll see, where people who have these charts can basically learn how to use them. I am willing to work with them to show them how I use them on a daily basis. I will also be introducing a live trading thing, which I'm working on, where members will pay an extra fee to basically see actual live charts that I'm working off, which I show a lot of them anyway on the service, but live tactical trigger signals, buy and sell. I'm not going to share what you need to buy and sell per se. You can act on that yourself because it's not like ditto trading where you're buying exactly what I'm buying and things like that. But I'm doing ditto trading anyway because I'm telling you what I'm buying or selling anyway. Not everything. There's other stuff that's going on the site that I can't post. It's not humanly possible for me. But getting back to it, once you get a reversal candle like this, people who have spent time listening to my coaching session, working with me, they know exactly what to do. They know exactly what to do when you get this bullish candle reversal. This is true tactical trading on the Algo HFT charts. So this is one platform that I use. But I mark them out for people. I can't get any better than this. Then you get this sell-off right there on the second hour. This was the first hour, second hour. So this was 9:30 to 10:30, 10:30, 11:30. Then you get this sell. Now this red candle that was building, we didn't know. I didn't know whether it was going to continue down. I knew the support would be down in the lower Bollinger. I put those numbers out there. Okay? But then when I saw it turn around, all bets are off. Buy, 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 SPX calls. Because when you see this moving up over the moving averages, these lines, my trained eye says you gotta buy. This is crazy. You cannot stay short. I bought small amounts of puts. I even put it out there. They just shrunk. Whoosh. I can't even do that sound effect, okay? They just went, and I knew that all the longs that I had turned around. The minute I see a reversal candle like this size and magnitude and a second one following it, I know what is going on. Okay? So, and then I put an arrow because this is where I think we're going to land up eventually. Very important. And then these technicals corroborated and supported the move up on the price level. So very important stuff, okay? Then I have these type of stocks that I find to be speculative and possible movements up, and they're right there. Okay, Aria, for example, bought those calls so cheap, they doubled, and then they pulled back a little bit, but they were still higher. Tesla showed the downside levels. This is more of a swing chart because it's a daily. It says Tesla daily suggests possible downside to levels marked 214, 204, 185. Those are extreme downside level, 185. Upside 226, 232. If it holds here, the mid Bollinger right here, the stock's going higher. This is telling me there's maybe a little bit of early selling left to get down towards these real overbought levels, which are screaming buys on the stock, which I have alerted people before. I remember telling people in early May that this would be somewhat of a bottom. In fact, I told people down here to buy the stock. Well, don't believe me? Go check it out. Big fat consolidation channel. Could get to the bottom of the consolidation if possible, but it's going to bounce. So I just don't look at prices. I look at a lot of internal stuff, you know, and I keep on telling my some good traders in our group, okay, without naming names, that look, just don't frigging look at prices. Prices alone don't tell you much. I explained in my one of my real earlier introductory videos that look, externals are what the prices everybody and your mother's, I mean, grandma is looking at, right? Who really studies the internals? It's like going to a doctor, like I used to say. The doctor looks at you and says, you look like a sick dog. And you go, yeah, I look really sick. So then they do a whole bunch of blood tests and everything, and they learn about your internals, whether you're really sick, whether you're going to be sick for a while, or whether you're terminally ill. That's what's known as the internals. The internals give you the clue of what your externals, which are prices. And the internals are what's on all these lower columns. And I'm just showing one of them. So if you don't understand the internals, you don't really know whether that flu is going to turn to pneumonia. I hope you guys understand that. All right? And studying the internals, I show you the simplest way, is not always the easiest thing to do. But I think I teach enough to people who work with me so that they get pretty good at understanding a whole bunch of different internals that they look at. Then I show charts like these. They're very tactical. This is a 5-minute chart. That means it's showing intraday for that day of oil. I said oil was going to bottom around here. Oh boy, it did bottom there. Okay, I didn't even get a chance to show the internals on this. I saw the big volume spike. That's the capitulation volume. That's when they all change diapers at the same time. But I construed that the news that came out that rig count was higher by 4 or 9 Baker Hughes rig count shows that the oil market is in a state of stabilization. But that's my analysis. You can analyze it whichever way you want. And they said, oh my God, why is oil selling off then? Don't ask me, because oil markets move at lightning speed like currency markets. So they started selling higher, they trapped the shorts, and then they moved. And oil, ladies and gentlemen, is up nicely above 49 as we speak right now. So where is it right now? As we speak right now. Okay? And this is a chart that I drew. Sorry, everyone can hear me? Yes? Okay, good. So this is a chart that I drew, and now oil is here. Like now meaning now. I'm seeing it on my other screen. Right there. So it's done this. And it's going to do this. So that's my strength that I am doing to benefit people who are willing to benefit themselves. Okay? Because I'm showing these things here which are precious. I'm showing, okay, this is the bottom. Draw a red line. Can't get any easier than this. Okay? This is capitulative volume. I like capitulation volume. What do traders do? They run for cover. They're like, oh my God, it's all selling. You know, we're all going to die. Well, good. At least before we die, we're going to get oil for free. I mean, all right. So I did my own interpretation. I looked at the chart. I drew the lines where oil might go to. And ladies and gentlemen, oil right now is at 49.07, which means it's right here off my charts, which were posted on afternoon of Friday. Take it for what it is. Now, why is that important? Because oil drives the markets in a good number of cases. Then I do Periscope broadcasts that you can listen to, as you know, which are real time. You can click on it. You can listen to it on the iPhone. I put out biotech ideas out there, things that have ramped big time. This one that was presented, and look, no one's saying like go out there and put all your portfolio in a biotech IPO that's out in the market, but I haven't worked on Wall Street. I know how the syndicate game works. If they price something and it opens at that price, let's say, or below, and it's a company worth looking into, that's, you know, I put in my opinion, then buy it. So I don't just go out there and say buy every single line. There's a lot more IPOs that have come out and not done well. You don't see them here. And I put these right at the point that they hit the market. So following the Twitter charts, it's critical. Another beautiful chart, a price line showing the gap, all kinds of stuff, the pinch Bollingers. So a lot of content on these sites. All right, a lot of content on the site. So if you need to look for something, scroll down. Just use your mouse. If you're on a desktop, it's very easy. If you're on a iPhone, might be a little bit tricky, but my service is not designed for iPhone traders. My service is designed for traders who are using the iPhone as a tool, but I'm not looking for casual Tinder traders like swiping to see what trades. Hey, who am I going to date tonight? All right? We're serious traders here. But I'm not here to, you know, to trade off an iPhone. Somebody wants to do it, and many of the traders have done, and they've done very well. Good for them, because I put it out there. But like I said, you don't date my alerts. You act on them. So the Twitter feed, very critically important. Tactical levels on June 3rd. I showed this thing at 10:03 a.m. in the midst of the sell-off with arrows where they can go. Okay? With arrows where they can go. And that's exactly what it did. It went exactly where I said it was going to go. Right there with this arrow. Please respect this work. I was noticing what was going on here. I know how these lines, how to interpret these lines better than anyone out there. And I was starting to see it. I didn't know if it was going to turn. If this line broke, we had lower lines to contend with, which are generated by the quad platform, and then I draw the structure on top of it. The structure that I draw on top of it, i.e. the channel, then these support lines, the resistance lines, things like that, the markers, those are what takes a naked chart and puts a powerful framework on it that you can follow, both on the upside and the downside. This chart alone for a hedge fund is worth millions of dollars, just so you know. And for traders, hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars. All right? So all that is there. And then I use sometimes, I just use my iPhone to shoot out stuff. These are iPhone charts. They're very clean, right? Pretty damn good. They're off investing.com. I use that as quickly to look at. S&P futures, it break down below 2086, short to 20. I was right. It basically came down here and then bounced. So sometimes it's very clear to see it on your iPhone. Investing.com. Just move the iPhone horizontally. The charts look great, and then you can add a certain things. And those things I'll teach on the advanced coaching session going forward. Oil was spiking pretty hard right after the jobs data. I showed that. So all kinds of. So the Twitter feed is extremely critical. That's the bottom line. Now, let's go to my site. Let me bring it up. Okay. So here is the website. Website is in a process of evolving. Version 2 is coming. So what you do here, this is the way you work the site, okay, is you want to know a little bit about me, hit the bio. I wrote this very early in the morning on April 13th, 2014. Okay, on my phone. And I think I used to use an iPhone at that time. I was kind of late adopter of the iPhone, so it had my BlackBerry. So it's directly from my heart. Okay, I write down a little thing, who I am, this and that. I'm a very private person, and I like to keep it that way. I'm trying to help people here. I don't need people lying next to me in bed. All right, so I keep it very straightforward and simple. Some people know me personally, and good for them. Hopefully they like me. But so that's just the way it is. So bio is there, and then you have members content. Testimony. Let me move on to here. So you have the bio thing. Testimonials. I think it's important for newer people like Charles. Joe is somewhat new. Options Geek, Vinesh. Look through it. These are real people who are writing about what they are feeling. I'm not paying them. I might ask them, hey, throw out your feedback. That's the most I'll go. Good, bad, or ugly, it's all there. All right? And read what they're saying, because it's going to help you to understand what you can learn and how you can benefit. Tons of them. Tons of them. This guy took a break for 2 months. Tats Boom. He's a great guy. But he didn't spend enough time and energy, in my opinion, really on trying to understand the level of accuracy in my work. But he's good. Look, no one's asking you to change your own style if you have one, if you have developed one, in trading. All I'm simply saying is that you need to complement that with the work that I put across, because my work is very unique. No question about that. And I think very differently than what the rest of your so-called forums and traders think. And maybe I know a little bit more and understand the dynamics of global macroeconomic theory than other people. And I'm sure they're a lot smarter than me when it comes to a lot of other stuff, like trade execution and things like that. But I don't care. I'm telling you what I can offer you. So read these things. These are important. These are important. These are real people writing at their own choice. All right? So let's move on. Your account, upgrade account, all that stuff. Contact, simply, directly sends us an email. Members area. And with this, I'm going to end the session. So listen, this members area is pretty fantastic. There's a lot of stuff in there. And I'm in the process of really making it better. How about that? Okay, I've invested a nice amount of money working with a development company who are working and testing out different ways of making this very, very thing. But what does better mean if you're not going to even utilize information that's in there right now, which a lot of members and traders have not? So even if I deliver something which version 2, which I'm working on, and I put in a bunch of money in that, believe me, okay? I like investing in my business to make it better for other people. What's the difference if it gets better if you haven't even looked at the basic stuff? So go through it sometime. So right there is a free video of a beginner's coaching session. Okay? I explain a lot of basic stuff. Listen to it. Then there's another one, an advanced coaching session. Then you have this little twiddly little nice little cartoonish box which has a lot of stuff in it. Okay? End of the day report, post it. And the end of the day reports, to be honest with you, are really not a critical component of that, because my Twitter feed alone has so much content. The end of the day report can just kind of summarize some of those things, but they are important, but they're not critically important. Charts, the mobile chat, the long-term portfolio, I need to update. Now, this long-term portfolio was originally designed for people who are platinum members. And they are for people who want to basically buy a bunch of stuff and leave it in there and maybe reconfigure their positions on the buy and sell side every 3 months, every 6 months. Frequently asked questions. This is about the algo chart. So if you click on that, you can click on this. There's a whole video. Can't get any better than that. There's a whole video on how to read your these algorithmic high frequency trading charts. However, they're primarily for people who have subscribed to the Quad platform, which I highly suggest that you all do. For that little money that you're going to pay every month, in my opinion, at least from my experience, you're going to make 5 times that on one trade. How about that? Then this is a nice video here that I have, which introduces you to the site and what, how you need to walk through. The same thing that I'm doing right now, kind of. Periscope broadcast is empty because I haven't filled that yet, because Twitter just changed their policy. And the good news is that Periscope broadcast that I put out there would not be deleted every 48 hours, which is great news. So my Periscope broadcasts are available on my Periscope channel. Trade performance. All right. This is, I try to fill it up as much as I can. I show some snapshots of things and returns. Trust me, if I put every single trade performance out there, which a lot of services do, your head would do another Linda Blake spin like The Exorcist, okay? These are just percentage returns on things. Now, these are not directly off my own P&L, mind you, but these are trades that I am doing. So I'm going to keep on filling them up as much as I can. And this format that you're looking at right? So here is Apple, for example. Went up $3, and the return, this is obviously off the lows, and the returns 414% on the lottos. This is the percentage return right there, 414%. Ladies and gentlemen, gotta start making some real money, right? Netflix, 101%. In fact, it's higher because we bought lower. These lottos, we bought them at, I believe we bought them at like 60 cents. Yeah, somewhere around there or less. So point is, so trade performance, real-time Twitter feed, you know that. Contributed our articles as to have people, you know, it's like, hey, you know, you have any of you have an idea about putting a nice informational article out there? I'll more than happy to put it out there for you. Okay. Frequently used terms. You can click that. You can read in between what all these things, you know, or terms that I use. Okay. MYOT, and one that I use quite often. Manage your own trades. Okay, you have to manage your own trades. And I keep on updating it every couple of weeks or so. I'm going to be adding a few more terms that I use. RT, somebody said, what's RT? RT is basically real-time feed. All right? Behavioral game theory. I keep on talking about that. Predictive, you know, clueless 8 variables utilized in market. So this is just a quick thing here. So that shows you. And then the end of the day reports and all that stuff, market webinars are put out here on the side. And you can click on it and listen to it. This is just some basic stuff that you have there. If you want to use it to, you know, you obviously want to use your own platform, but if somebody's coming in, wants to check on things, they can just put the ticker in and do what they need to do. So that really summarizes what my service is all about. But the key thing is the live Twitter feed, understanding the work that I'm putting across. Believe me when I tell you that when you guys start to really get the grasp of it, you will benefit. You will never, I mean, let's put it this way. The returns are so powerful, repeatedly, so powerful. You don't always have to buy every single one of my trades. You do some of your own ones, you know. You have to. But my returns are so powerful that if you know how to manage your trades, which like I said, you need work to do that. And that includes doing these coaching sessions and stuff like that. Then you will move to a different paradigm of trading that you don't even know yourself about. Remember, you don't know yourself how good a trader you can be or an investor. Okay? You don't know that. And I believe each of you has it in you, given the right tutelage and the right guidance. Look, I don't advise, okay? I'm not an advisor. I put helpful suggestions and some very tactical guidance on understanding a very difficult and volatile market, which will always be the case, mind you. All right? So the point is, once you get the hang of that and you understand the message that I'm going to put across, you are going to be in a different level of comfort zone. And believe me, stress is good too. You know, stress is good, but you'll be in a different level of confidence and comfort zone that you probably don't even know exists within you. That's all I got to say. I'll be open to answering a question or two, and then we're going to close this session out because we've been going on for a while now. Can I, anyone have a question? Okay, JB said thanks. Charles? Okay. Great. Okay, so in that case, we will connect tomorrow morning. Get ready for some real fireworks. And now you know what you need to do. Engage in the chat room. We're all here to work together. And thank you for listening. Good night. And whatever I recorded is going to be put out there. And I do apologize. The first part of the session wasn't recorded. All right. Look forward to having all of you as longtime members. And please provide referrals. And the best is yet to come. Good night.